Hello everyone. Noteey has released their 1.15.0 release, and they've added a lot of new things in there. So let's go ahead and take a look at them. The first one on the list is that they added a new info pane, and this is going to come in really useful for quickly being able to view information about your different cards, your highlights, PDFs, and so on that are sitting on the board. If we open up the side pane here, we can see that there's now this little icon that has info on it, and you can use the hotkey, the command 6 on Mac here. And if we go to that, let's click on it, we'll see that there is no information for this card while it's just being shown as a card. So the key here is that you do need to have a project in focus, and then you have a board selected. Then you're looking at some items that are on there. So let's go ahead and switch to an actual project. And if we go to a project, and then if we were to, let's say we just clicked on something here, we should see the information here, but I've also noticed that in order to get this to refresh, you will have to close that side pane and then reopen it for it to show you the information. So it doesn't really auto refresh or realize that it needs to refresh when you switch between these, like a card into this project. Now, once you're in the project though, you can come in here and you can select different objects that are on the board. You can come in here, you can quickly add tags to things that you want to, and you can see all the information related to that particular object on there. Now if you if you select off of an object, so like when I'm selected on an object here, we can see the information for this object. If I select off of it and I just click in the board, it'll show me the board information. So let's go back to the actual release, and let's see what else we got here. And I've highlighted this one in green, that first one that we just took a look at, because I thought that that was a really important one that came in this update. Another one that I thought that was pretty important here is being able to have tags or boards marked as a favorite. So let's take a look at that one. If we switch over back into our board here, we can come to this board, we can right click it, we can say add to favorite, and now you can see here that it puts it in your favorite. So nice quick access to this. If you're switching between projects and boards and things like that, this could make it a lot easier when you're doing a presentation, or you're just working on two boards that are in different projects, or more, two or more project boards, and you kind of want to quickly switch between the two. Now, somewhat of a spoiler alert, but in the community, Noteey has been actually even talking about having a split pane where you can see two boards at the same time. So really look forward to that. I have no idea which release that might come out in or what's the timeline on it, but it is a discussion that's over there, and Alex and the community there is pretty adamant about having that being a feature that comes pretty soon. So the other one that you can add in here is you can also add tags in here. So if I was to come in here and right click on a tag, we can mark that as a favorite, and we can see that that shows also up in the side pane. So this is pretty nice feature that they have here, and I think it's really going to improve some people's workflow, especially mine for sure. Let's go back into the document, and another thing that they've added in here is that you can move or copy boards to different projects. So this was something that was pretty hard to do before. If you wanted to copy a board from one project to another, you could not do that. You would have to try to copy the actual stuff that's on the board and then create another board and then paste it in and see if that actually worked. But this is a much more elegant way of being able to duplicate or copy or even move boards around between projects. So let's go ahead and check this feature out. if we go into projects, what I want to do is let me create another lab. Let's call it the lab 2. And in here, what I'll do is let's create a test board there. And what I'll do is I'll put a sticky in here. Actually, I'll put just put 2 in here. So we'll put 2 sticky notes in there, and what we will do is say, now I want to have this go into another project, and what I want to do is actually just duplicate it and make another copy of it somewhere else instead of moving it from here. I just want to duplicate and put it in another project as is, so it'll have the same stuff. If we right click on there, let's say move to, and let's pick, we're in lab 2 now, so let's pick lab 1, and this one here is that with this checkbox here, it says we're going to duplicate and move the copy. So let's hit confirm, and it says board moved successfully. So if we go and take a look at the other lab, we will now see another test 2, and it has the 2 sticky notes in it. So that did work. We did duplicate the actual board over in here, but let's create a new one, and we'll call this one test board 2, and we'll do the same thing. Let's just put a sticky note in here, and we'll just put that there, and let's go ahead and actually move this particular board over into another project. And what we'll do is move it over to project 2. So if we come to project 2, we'll select it. Now this one says duplicate and move the copy. I think the wording here is probably a little too long. In the other instance where we actually duplicated it into the other project, I think you just say duplicate here, and that will be all you really need to do. I think what he's trying to really note here with this message is that they're going to make a copy or like a snapshot of this board, and then they're actually going to move that snapshot over. So, but I think it's the duplicate part. I think it says it all in my opinion. So, and not to mention that the process or the function here that we're trying to do is move to. So if we're doing a duplicate, we know we're going to move the duplicate. So I really don't think this is necessary. It's a little bit confusing in my opinion. Now let's select the lab 2 and let's confirm. And we can see that, okay, board moved successfully. Now, it said board moved successfully on both operations, so not sure if this message might want to say board duplicated for the one where it duplicates the board, and then moved for the one that actually moves it over into another place. So if we go over into the project to confirm, we can see that there is a project 2, and it does have this here in it. Let's go ahead and move to the next feature now that we've seen that one. So we've seen these first 3. We got image titles are hidden by default. I won't actually show that one. I think that's self-explanatory. You can copy original link. So direct copy original link, and you can manage tags for cards and highlights on the whiteboard. So copy original link. I guess I've never really looked at that one. So let's go to the board, and we'll go in here. Let me shrink this up a little bit. So if I was to click on this one, let's see what we have here. So there's a copy link that's there. Okay. And if I was to actually, let's put text there, and let's paste that in and see what it looks like. Okay, so we can see it says Noteey on it there. I come in here and I say copy original link. Let's do this again. Stop that video. Do a text object and paste that in. And both of them actually says these both are Noteey links. Now the difference in the link you can see from the path here is that one link is coming directed to this actual project, so this one specifically, and the other one is going to the one in the library. So that there's a clear distinction when you look at it from this perspective. I think it makes it a lot more clear. So let's go back into the update here, and let's see, you can also manage tags too from the menu here. So instead of, so if I click on the object, let's go into here, and there we go. We can go ahead and put a tag on it from here. Okay, so that's makes things a little bit more efficient on that one. Let's go back into the note. So what we would do, let's go and take a card. What we'll do is we'll copy the actual link from the library so we can show this, and then we'll paste it because I think these two go hand in hand. So if we go into the library, let's do the one we're working on right now. Let me see if I can just right click on there. I can copy the link from there and go into the project, and then I can paste. All right, so when I paste it here, we can see some text there in the background, and I can paste this as just a link, or I can embed it. So if I paste it as a link, we can see it's exactly kind of what I did up top, but it's actually a link, it's not just text. And then if I paste it again and I choose embed, we can see that it's the actual note itself. So this note is the same note that we would get. Let's undo that. If we did this, now it's already on the board, but let me remove it here. And this is another thing too that has changed. Before, this used to say delete, and for me it was a little bit confusing because you also have a delete from library. It's understandable that yes, you're going to delete it off the canvas, but I thought it was a little bit confusing, and because it's really just removing it from the board. For me, if you delete something and you have a trash, then you would assume that, oh, I'm going to delete it, it's going to go in the trash bin. But this delete does not actually put anything in the trash itself. So I think it fits better myself for it to be removed, and this doesn't really give me an anxiety when I'm coming in here to actually remove it. Before, with the delete, it always really kind of made me pause, and I had to think about it before I actually did that action because I wasn't really sure if it was going to delete it from the library or not. So this remove, real easy. That option also has been put over here in the card section for the project. So you can come over here, you can right click, and this used to say delete as well. Now you're deleting it from the project, but I think remove is a better word for the action that's happening here, because this card will still be in the library itself. Now, one thing to note is that you can see where it's kind of grayed out here. If we took that note, let's open up another board and let's put it here. We can see now that it shows like a regular card would over here. And if we delete it or remove that, we can see that now, you can see it's grayed out now. So that's an indicator that that card is not linked in or being used in any of the boards in this project. So if you see this, this is kind of a nice clear indicator that if you're going to remove it from here, you're not going to remove it also from any other projects or boards that are in your project. Because what you could do if you have this note, let's go ahead and put this note over here, and let's actually put it here. So we have it in 2 now. The functionality right now does allow you to remove from the actual project, because that's what this sidebar is. This is the boards for this project, and these are the cards for this project. So if you come here and you remove it, you're removing it from the project. And what will happen is you will remove it from every board that's in that project too. So we can see that it immediately deleted it from there. And if we go to this other board, it's also deleted. So just be aware of that if you're removing things from the project sidebar here. Okay, let's go and see what else do we have. And also, one thing I just noticed too, and this happened to me before, when I'm removing it from here, I'll have to actually run through the process to see which one does it. But it removed it from the favorites. So not sure why that happened. If I go into the library, that card is still there. I can right click it and I can put it back into favorites. But it's a little bit, something's happening there where when you remove it from a project, it's removing it from these favorites. And I think it's just a bug. So hopefully it's something easy to fix. All right, so we're back here. It says when you paste a link, this is the one we just went through. The project filter in the right side pane now supports, and this is pretty good. I like this. It supports only showing stuff that's currently in the project. So if I was to come here, I have some items here. If I open up that side pane, I may want to say use certain cards that I have in one board in another board, but I have to search through all the cards in the library if I do it this way, or I can filter the, whatever distinct cards, but still they're from all projects. If I come in here now, what I can do is you can come in here and you do current project. So these are all the cards in this project, irrelevant of which boards are selected. And then if you come in here and you do current board, it'll only show the ones for the board that you want. And this is persistent now. Before it used to actually clear and you have to redo all this stuff. So if I go to this other board, we can see that this clears out now because there are no cards on this board. So I think this is a really nice enhancement to the side pane, and I probably should have on that one marked that one as a green one, because that is an actual good feature to have, and it really improves searching for cards or just kind of limiting the information and focusing on things the way you need to. The project filter retains its state when you're reopening that side pane or switching tabs. I mentioned that. The highlights page now supports filtering by tags. And Mindmap nodes, now you can use the @ sign when you're linking or even creating a card now. So that's pretty cool. I have not used that particular feature. And let's go and put a mind map here. I put a mind map there. I can now do the @ symbol, similar to what you can do in your cards or in a journal. And you can see too that the filter is still retained that we had before in the side pane. So we'll have to clear it. We just hit the little X there. That's fairly easy to do. And now it gives me all of the cards, irrelevant of what type they are, just because I have everything available here to me, but you can filter those as you need to. You can also create a new card from here as well. So if I want to create a new one, you can come in there and you can create that. You can click on it here, and then you can give it a title, put that in there, and your link is right here for that particular card. So you saw how I just opened it in the side pane. We close that, it'll open it up. So pretty nice feature to have. And you can come in here and do this here also. So nice feature to have. So what is next? So we have this one. I think we have one more here. So adjust the aspect ratio of frames. So you have no need to set it beforehand. So we're in a project. Before, if you were doing a frame, if I come here and select the frame, you typically have to come in here and you select one, and then you just click on the board and it will actually put it to the size that you want. Click on there, you can see it created that one. Let's zoom out. Let's do this again. Frame. Let's do this iPhone looking shape so you can see that. So you can select that pre-size there and you can have it created at the size that you want, or you can actually click on these now and we can see. Move that one over. If you can click on these now, you can come in here and you can change these to whatever you want. So that makes it pretty easy. And you can still come in here and grab the edges and move them around. So yeah, I think it's a feature that if after the fact you've chosen, let's say, one of these sizes and you need to change it, is easily changed by coming in here and using this particular option. So that is it for the new features and improvements that they've added here. There were a lot of bug fixes as well. I'm not going to walk through those, but I think this was a pretty good round of new features and improvements for Noteey. And I'd like to hear what you think. So if you're using Noteey out there, you're getting all these features, what are your thoughts around these features? So that's going to be it for this video. If you like the content, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. And until the next time, have a nice day.